Hello everyone. Now we are going to do the practice of orthographic projections. I have told you to solve any problem of orthographic projection we have to follow these 6 steps. These are the 6 steps which we have to follow. The main problem will have all these steps to be followed, but we will do the practice of each and every step individually so that we should be ready for the main problem. So first step is identification. I'm showing you one problem, identification challenge. Now what is the meaning of identification? An object will be given in the question and one arrow will be given. The statement of the question will be draw the orthographic projection of the given object. I have told you earlier what is orthographic projection, what is isometric projection. I give you brief about those. This is actually the isometric projection in which we have the 3D object in one diagram. We can see the front, top, side, all views. This is known as isometric projection. When we say orthographic projection means when we are going to draw the front view, top view, side view separate, and these views are perpendicular to each other and the projectors are perpendicular to the plane of projection. I have discussed all these things in my previous video. Now we will see if the direction is given in the question, then we have to take this side as front view. If direction is not given, then you can take any side as front view. So you have to take care about this direction. It means this observer has to stand this side to see the front view. So every view will be decided from the front view. If you are standing on this side to see the front view, how to solve this problem? Just try to imagine that the direction given for front view and you are rotating the object and making it parallel to your eyes, means this surface, it becomes parallel to your eyes. So when this surface is parallel to your eyes, you can see this surface, this one, which I'm just darkening with the lines. Now when this surface is parallel to your eyes and you are standing this side, you can see only this surface. Can you see this? No. Why? Because this will be perpendicular to your eyes. It is just like a stair or just a box which is in front of you. You can see the surface in front view, this one. Now when you see the top view, when you will see from the top view, you can see this surface only, surface 2. You cannot see the surface 1 or the surface 3. And when you go for this side, if this is the front, this will be left side view, this will be the right hand side view. So from this side, left hand side view, you can see the surface 3 only. You cannot see 1 or 2 because these surfaces will be perpendicular to your eyes and 3 will be parallel to your eyes. So try to imagine this thing just like a box. I'll show you. I'm taking this box just to teach you. Let's say this is the object which is given directly as given in the object and it is being placed like this. It is just similar to this object and direction is given this side as front view. Just same object, just avoid these constructions. These I just wanted to teach you, that is why I'm taking this example. So when you see this side, you can see this surface, means what to do. First of all, this is the front view, so make it parallel to your eyes. And what I'm saying, okay, I'll highlight the side. So I have written the names. This is the surface A, B and C. Now when this surface is just like placed here, just like this is known as isometric view because we can see front view, top view and side view. We can see all the views. Now if this is the side for front view, what I have told you how to solve this problem, just make the given side parallel to your eyes. Okay, I'll make it parallel to your eyes like this. Now this surface, just avoid these projections. I just wanted to teach you. Now from this side, now this A surface which was given as the direction, so that is parallel to your eyes. Now you can see the surface A only, as I am showing the surface 1 only. Now when you have to see the top view, either you have to go there or I rotate the object. If I rotate the object in this direction, now you can see the surface B, this one. So this is the surface B visible. Then what about the side view? Again rotate the object like this. Now you can see the C surface, side view, this one. Now what I have told you, I am repeating again the things. This was the front side, make it parallel to your eyes. After that top view, again to the initial position, then side view, right? Front view, rotation top view and then side view. Now we can take one more example just to understand how we identify the views. I am taking a matchbox just to teach you. Let's say this matchbox is given, just try to imagine every time you have to solve the same problem like this. Let's say this object is given in this way and direction is given this as front view. Now when you see from this side, you can see this surface only, this surface. Now this is the another surface and this is the third surface. Now what I have told you, when you have to draw the views, what you do, just imagine that you are rotating the object and the given surface, this surface, make it parallel to your eyes. So now this surface is parallel to your eyes. Now you can see this surface, this is the surface 1, right? Now for top view, what you see, what I have told you, just go upside to see the top view or just to rotate the object, same thing. When you rotate, you can see now this surface, surface 2, just avoid the whatever written over there. So this is surface 1, this is top view, right? Then for side view, what to do, again go for same, and then what to do, rotate it for side view. So this is the third surface, side view. Got it? So this is the way how we solve the problem. Front view, parallel to your eyes, then top view, again to the front view, then side view, right? So it means we have seen this. We have to draw one surface as front view, two surface as top view, three surface as side view. One is having dimension 16 to 20, top view is having dimension 40 into 60, and side view will be having dimension 40 into 20. So we will see how to draw. I have told you in the front view you can see this rectangle, so it is having what, the shape rectangle having 60 into 20. So this is the front view, surface 1. Top view, this is a square, not square, we can say as a rectangle, 60 into 40, and side view is again a rectangle having dimension 40 into 20. Now we will draw this on orthographic axis. First of all, we have to draw the isometric axis. Just leave a space up and below the axis. Just make a very light line, not a particular length. Open arrowhead. This is just same the axis which we draw in projection of point and projection of line. We are solving the problem in first quadrant, so write VP HP like this, same like projection of point and line. Now what to do after this, just leave a space. I should say at least 2 centimeter space. Leave the space for at least 2 centimeters just to write the name and do the dimensioning. Then we will start the front view. Now front view is having 60 dimension, so we will make the 60. Now if you are using the grid sheet, then very easily you can draw the line parallel to xy axis, but if you are using the plane sheet, then you have to be very accurate while making the perpendicular and horizontal lines. Now the front view is having 60 into 20, so 60 into 20 I have taken. Now this is the front view. You can make the dark diagram for the main one, but it should not be thick line, it should be very thin line. No doubt you can draw the dark line, but thin line and dark line. Use the tip of the pencil, very sharp edge pencil, just draw the diagram. So this is the front view I have drawn with same darkness. Your line should not vary the darkness, same darkness. So this is the front view. After that, after making the front view, what we have to do, we have to take the projection lines. Remember that front view will be in the projection line of top view. As we have drawn the front projection of points, we have drawn the projection of lines. So front view and top view will be joined using the projection line, very light line, just joining the front with top. So you have to take a gap of 2 mm. Just make light line, do not join here with the main object, it should not be the part of the main object. So draw very light line like this. So just like you have drawn the dimension line like that. Here also we will leave the 2 centimeter gap or 20 mm gap just to give the space for dimensioning. Now when I draw the vertical lines, now I have no need to measure this dimension. This is 60, so exactly 60 is coming, so it will also help me in making the dimension in horizontal direction. So I'll directly make the side of top view. We know that it is a square of 60 by 40, so I have taken 60 just from the front view, and then I have to take this dimension, that is what, 40. So I'll take exactly vertical 40 on the projection line it is coming, so I can make it dark because this is my main object. So the grid points or the grid sheet, it will help you in making these diagrams. You have no need to worry about the rectangle or whatever the dimension you are taking, it will automatically come exactly vertical or horizontal. But if you are using the plain sheet, plain paper, then you will face a number of problems dimensions will not match. So this is the front view and top view. In our syllabus we have only the front view, top view, so we will not go for the side view. Now we will do the dimensioning. As we have space here to give the dimension to this side, so after 10 mm gap from object line, we draw this dimension line with thin arrowhead. Try to draw very thin arrowhead, more in length, less in width. Closed arrowhead 3:1. So this is the dimension 60, so make the dimension 60. And then this side again, extension line very light, perpendicular to the object line, extension line 2 mm gap, very light, perpendicular to the object line. We have done a number of dimensions now. In projection of point, projection of line, in every chapter we are doing the dimension, so we have to follow the same rule in all the chapters. So dimensioning play an important role. You have to take care of all the rules. 2 mm gap between extension and object line and dimension line 10 mm gap, closed filled arrowheads 3:1, 3 unit of length, 1 unit of width. How to write dimension value? Downward above dimension line, right side above dimension line. So here we will give again dimension. We will use the extension line perpendicular to mm gap, then dimension line just parallel to the object line, then arrowheads as per the rules, and this side is given in the diagram, that is 40. So we write the dimension value like this. Now we have no need to give this dimension again 60 on this side or 40. This will be the unnecessary dimension. Only 3 dimensions are available: length, height and width. So we have mentioned all of those. Now we can write the name of the view. Always write below the diagram. Now this is the front view. You know the letter style, how we write letter writing. So without measuring the height, this is just an idea. We have to just make the same shape of the letter. So this is the front view, this is the top view, but write always below the diagram. Do not write it anywhere else. When we draw a diagram, the name of the diagram will always be below. When we have tables, above the table we write the information of table. So this is the standard positions to give the name of figures and tables. So this is the solution.